if you haven't watched Attack on Titan season 4, if you haven't watched Attack on Titan season 4 episode 12, maybe like skip this episode. Watch some of the other episodes that we have in the YouTube. Or like if you don't
Yeah.
care about spoilers, then cool. Then stick with us, I guess. If you don't care about Attack on Titan or you don't care about spoilers, then go ahead and watch ahead. But if you do care about Attack on Titan spoilers, if you do care about Attack on Titan season 4, specifically episode 12, yeah, come back to us. Go watch the episode, and then come back to us and hear our thoughts. Leave a comment below about what your thoughts are. Please keep it civil. I say that. I know it's the internet, but please keep it civil. Hey guys, how's it going? I am here with Bohab as usual, and we're here to talk about Attack on Titan. This is episode 11, or is this episode 12?
Episode 12, I want to say.
Oh my god, we're like 4 episodes away from like the what I'm assuming is the midpoint, unless like when we'll get
It would
it.
have to be. There's no possible way that they're going to wrap it up in 4 episodes. I think this season's going to wrap up with the conclusion of Reiner and Piek and whoever, like their retaliation strike.
Yeah, who like unless they go ham the next 4 episodes and it's just like all balls to the wall for like 3 episodes. It's just like this
It
Hail
feels
Mary
like
of,
it's
like, the
going to
fuck this.
kick off this next episode, but even if it does, there's not enough time to reach an even close to getting to a conclusion, because like this whole episode we just watched was like off on a tangent. Like it seems like next week is going to be the episode we thought this week was going to be.
Yeah.
With the whole Marley and dinner thing and catching up with Zeke and finding out what his plan actually is.
Yes. Also,
This was this whole other separate tangent where Aaron escapes from jail and Zachary explodes. Just the lower half, but without that, I feel like he's a much less effective leader.
but yeah, so we're gonna like getting right into it because that was a lot. Yeah, no, there's a whole lot, and I don't even know. I want to start at the beginning because there's a lot of stuff that would like because we were like, when are they going to give us answers? And they gave us a lot of like good answers of to like what was going on. Like there's still a few questions and stuff like that, but I like the
Yeah.
fact that this has been confirmed finally. And I can finally say without a doubt, because remember we were talking about like Historia and Aaron, and when they had like transferred memories, and we like even in the last we were still having that argument like there's still all these fake memories. Is it really true? I'm so glad Armin or Ermin, because I was like watching. I'm like, why did Mikasa say Ermin? I don't know if that was a flub on the voice actor's part or whatever, but I was like watching it. I'm like,
I'm not convinced the characters in the show know how to pronounce each other's name at this point.
it was just so weird because I'm like, I thought we all agreed it was Armin. um,
It close enough.
Close enough.
Okay, but continue.
Yeah. But like Armin confirms when he was because he's like talking and he's like, I wish I could talk to you. I wish we could get answers. And so he's about to touch Annie, and
Mhm.
I forgot her name. But she like one of the military
Yeah, the one
princesses.
guarding
Yeah,
Annie.
it begins with an H. I know that much. But she's all like, you're not allowed to touch it, and Armin's all like, we know that we can transfer memories through touch and that we can like get information. And I was like, yes, confirmed. My suspicions confirmed. I was all like, because they can transfer memories, which means that Aaron and Historia, when they touch, they have the same memory, and so Armin was trying to exploit that idea of like, if I touch
Or
this
was that just an excuse for why he was touching?
Annie, like just a
He
creepy
might
little,
be
just
he
like
might be a
just
simp, you know?
um yeah, just simp Armin. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the idea of Armin being a simp because he's like such this not feeble, but like
Beta
fragile.
male.
He's such a beta
Real
male.
cuck.
uh, yeah, and then like Hitch, that's her name. Hitch is all like, man, you have a real thing for Annie. And I was like, okay, so now Armin has a thing for Annie, which is it was kind of implied, like, but I guess it's
Hmm.
like this. I guess this solidified it. I guess because
It's also like 4 seasons ago since, you know, they had any interaction. So
Yeah. So I guess this
yeah,
shows that Armin's kind of like just been like talking to Annie almost every day, or at least like once a week. He's all like, "I love this girl. Like she doesn't talk back or
do
anything."
you? Do you?
Um,
The person you haven't interacted with in 5 years and only knew for well, no, I guess they went through training together.
they did go
But
to
I
training.
wonder, does Annie's clock is like running out too, right?
Yeah, her clock. Unless like crystallizing yourself stops time. How did she get a fucking haircut though? I'm still questioning that.
Oh yeah, well,
Unless it's in a bun and it's just like her hair is bent this way, so it's shaped that way, and then she has like all her hairs.
it's kind of
It's
because we didn't get
inconspicuous
that.
though.
It. I have a lot of questions with what's going on with her chrysalis phase, especially from like a physiological standpoint. Like, is she still aging? It's hard to tell because they've changed studios since the last time she was animated, so people don't look necessarily the same anyway.
Oh yeah.
And it's definitely like it's everyone's art style is a lot less distinct in this season,
Mm-hmm.
just from the way they're being drawn by the new studio, plus the time skip. So I don't know. Has she changed? Has she aged at all? And does like the whole 13-year Titan clock like still? If so, then like sitting around in the crystal, how the fuck is she still in the crystal? Does she not have control over it? I mean the Warhammer Titans seem to have control over being in a crystal,
Yeah.
and have they not attempted to break her out at all?
I mean, I feel
There's
like they have. They
so
had to have
they
tried.
would have to have, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but also at the same time, like they got her kept in that underground thing so she can't escape or transform into a Titan to escape without crushing herself.
Yeah. What is Annie's long
There's
game here?
yeah, she's literally running out of time. She's on the same time frame as Reiner would be, so she's only got a couple of years left. She would have to have less time than Aaron, who is also running out of time,
Yeah.
because she has been a Titan longer than him.
Oh yeah.
So
Much longer. I
if
believe. I believe it's a whole
at least a
year.
year.
Because like when did they?
So
So like when did because Aaron, how old was Aaron when the first Colossus? Because they were Titans before that, right? So they were Titans for like a whole year.
yeah,
They broke down the
but
wall
it
and then
seems like they just no, they had just inherited their Titans prior to that mission.
yeah.
Like that was their first assignment post inheriting their Titans, and then Aaron inherits his Titan in the aftermath of that. So at most, they have a few months less than Aaron on their Titan clock.
Yeah, so I'm wondering all about that.
So if Aaron is just what the fuck is she waiting for? Especially since it's clear that they won't kill her. Especially now, post like Aaron and if finding out the whole outside world and everything with that, like there's clearly no threat to her if she like decrystallizes and talks. So is she not able to decrystallize?
I don't know. I don't know. Like that's the thing. That's
That would seem to be the implication, just based on because otherwise there's no reason for her not to decrystallize and just talk.
well.
There's
I
no
mean, like,
benefit to her staying crystallized if it's within her like choices to not be crystallized.
well, she could also be playing the aspect. They could also be playing the aspect where Annie doesn't know what's really happening outside the world, so she feels like they're lying to her, and so she's just fully committed to like just protecting herself. Like she's like, I don't care if I die here. She's like, this is just where I'm gonna be, and I won't. Like, she just doesn't believe anything that's really happening. Because
She
to be fair, on
doesn't have
X,
enough time for it. I mean, she's on a ticking time clock more so than anyone else at this point. The only person with less time would be Zeke.
yeah, which we'll get to. Like, holy crap! I do want to get into though the protests that are going on with like now everyone's
That
like new now
that
news is like
hit
traveled
home in
real
an
fast.
uncomfortable way. Dumb, angry assholes protesting.
Well, I mean, you could see
Just
their
like,
side though. Like
hey,
Hanch is like the distrust that has happened now, and like you also see like the factions have leaked media. You see there's factions in the police depart, like the military police, and so it's like the like they like because the military is being shady and the citizens don't know what's going on. You could see how everyone's kind of like banded right behind Aaron, you know. So it's
yeah, just hits uncomfortably close to home with the
Yeah.
state of the world as we live in it.
Yeah, but this, I mean, unlike the state of the world, there's a lot more nuance in this. Whereas like the
Uh,
state of the world, it's like obviously like you guys need to fix shit up. Like
yeah.
like there's no titans in the real world that we're trying to like.
There's definitely not going to be a happy ending to this series.
No, it's there's not gonna. I also want to like, and I'm just touching lightly on the protests because there's like these protests are not like they don't seem to be like equivalent to any of the protests happening around the world or anything like that. It's just something just to
Mhm.
make note of because it's so prevalent and it gives
Yeah.
like the only thing I can actually touch on because it's so nuanced and it's not like completely one sided. It's like it looks at like these protests as like these people obviously don't know what's going on and they've been leaked information, so they trust this information and they're protesting against the military and stuff like that.
I
And
think what we're trying to say is that Q would have been a Jaegerist.
Q would have been a Jaegerist. He possibly.
Yeah.
But like yeah, and then we get into fucking Mikasa being motherfucking Mikasa.
Yeah. The ultimate Aaron apologist.
The ultimate Aaron apology because like we see like recruits brought this chair in and we see the recruits and they're like faceless recruits. It's like they're no character that we know of or give two shits about. And then we see the military police people walk in and they're also three people that we don't give a shit or know who they are. But
They're dead before it matters.
they're dead before it matters. Like this explosion happens because like you see like Armin and Mikasa are like, hey, let's talk to Aaron. Maybe we can figure this out. And you see the guy is like what was his name? Zachary?
Yeah, Premier Zachary,
Premier
the
Zachary,
leader.
yeah. He was all like he's all like, hey, let's he's all like the situation's too delicate. We can't let you do it. And to be fair, Mikasa's right. Like and Armin is right, where he's all like, yeah, if it's so delicate, why can't we just like there's no harm in us doing this thing.
I mean, there's nothing worse for everybody than when Aaron thinks he has a plan. Like if Aaron's confident about a course of action, like everybody's fucked. The series has proven that multiple times in the past.
Yes.
So, from to that point, I said it was Zachary. Yeah.
You said it was
until you figure out a solid idea what to do with Aaron. Potentially, like there's nothing really holding him there. So, putting it in his head to escape, not a great idea.
Yeah.
And he ends up doing that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But that was my point.
But necessarily, Armin and Mikasa, I don't think would have been able to resolve anything by talking to him.
I don't know. I feel like
could have potentially made things worse.
I don't know. I feel like I sided with Armin because like how could they have made things worse? Is my question.
Aaron eats Armin and gains the Colossal Titan.
Damn.
Checkmate.
All right.
Yeah. You think Aaron is a threat now? Give him nukes. See what happens.
I see now. Oh my goodness. That would be crazy though. An Armin versus Aaron battle. Oh my god. I couldn't even imagine. That's so sad. But now that you say that, I'm like, shoot, is that what's gonna happen?
Hopefully not. Because I mean, Armin's the only one I think that can stop Aaron at this point. You need a man with a plan.
Did you like walk off somewhere?
Oh no, my cat's knocked something over. Give me a second. Yeah, they somehow managed to knock the cap off a bottle of like allergy pills and like knock them on the floor, so I had to pick all those up.
Oh Lord, damn.
I don't even know how they did that because like it's like one of those like child safe caps, and they still managed to knock it off.
They're getting smart, man. They're getting smart. Like one of my friends sent me or didn't send me. I saw it on their story. Their cat kept going on their toilet, and like opening like they would get on the toilet, and she's like every fucking time it just goes on the in the toilet and tries to drink the water out of the toilet.
Mine do that too. I make sure they have fresh water all the time, but Spike especially wants to drink out of the toilet, or they'll like jump up on the toilet while I'm peeing in it. And sometimes if I like I have to pee, I'll start, but they'll be at the other side of the house when they notice. So like they'll like run across the house so that they can come watch me pee because they're fucking little weirdos. But sometimes they'll jump up on the toilet while I'm peeing, and I won't hear them like sneak up on me,
Mhm.
and they get peed on a little bit. And it's their fault, and I feel weird about it. Yeah, it's not on purpose, and
No,
I
I
don't
know.
enjoy it. But
And then
I do want to get one of those little cat fountains where it like kind of keeps a stream of running water.
what? Oh yeah, so
They're
they can
more
like they
likely
can
to,
drink it.
yeah, they'll hear the water, and that'll make them drink it more. As opposed to cats don't like still water, but they like running water. That's why a lot of cats will like make you turn the sink on for them and stuff. I like it. So just having a little cat fountain that cycles water over and over and filters it is supposed to be really good for them.
You know, that
I have one
explains.
at Walmart for like $20. So
Way to be a
he
Shane
jumps up
Dawson.
onto the toilet seat to see what's going on, but he does it by running across the entire house at top speed. So by the time I hear him coming,
He's already there.
there's nothing for me to do. I can't stop midstream. I try to angle it so that I don't hit him, but he jumps in front of the stream.
Can you shut the door?
You
Oh wait, no,
I
that's right.
guess
No, no.
uh,
I no, never mind. I
you've
know
seen
how your
the way
house is
my
set up.
bathroom is
I
set
know
up.
how your house is set up. Never
Yeah.
mind. You can't. I
So
I feel
yeah.
your plight. I feel
It
your
would
plight.
be I would have to like move stuff to be able to shut that door.
For
It'd
those of
be
you who
so
don't
much of an
know,
effort, and it doesn't close all the way, so like they could still kind of wedge it open if they needed to, but
yeah, they
that
could
would give me
slam it
enough
open.
time. I usually just try to like be quick and quiet enough that I could be done before they notice.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's like real. Like that's
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know. Like he because I've actually been to his house. It is a little bit janky. It's his house is a work in progress. Like which is why you have a house. I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah, well, I can't afford a nice house, but I can't afford a little fixer upper out in the country.
Yeah, but but yeah. So like but here's the thing. So like Kylo, um, he is so like I found out recently like he's very protective. Like 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 he will like
Mhm.
he like sits up on the window. He sits up on the window up there. He guards the door and the stairs, and then he'll like circle around me. Not because he wants food or anything, because like I'll give him food, and he's like I didn't want food, and then I'll walk away, and he'll like be following me, because like we have like a
Hmm.
puppy now and stuff like that, and we have like outside cats that have been
Oh, is
coming.
that pit bull that I met while I was there,
No, no, it's a different
or is that
dog.
a new puppy?
It's a it's like a
Okay, what
puppy
kind?
puppy, like a 6 month, not even 6 months old. It's like 3 months.
Okay,
Yeah.
what kind?
It's like a blue healer lab mix.
Huh.
So it's gonna
Okay.
probably be like a medium sized puppy.
All right. Anyways, continue.
So anyways, so what Kylo does, like Kylo does is like we usually when I take a shower, he sits outside the door, but every once in a while, he'll slam the door open, right? It's got like a
Hmm.
handle hinges and stuff like that, but he'll like pop in the door, right? I'll be taking a shower, and he'll like go through the curtains, and he'll like look, and then he'll come back, sit like right at the curtains, and like just be like on guard. He'll like watch the door as I'm taking a shower. He's like the bouncer of me using the restroom.
Yeah. Now my cats have to be involved anytime I do anything in the bathroom, whether I'm using the bathroom or I'm taking a bath or a shower. They're right in there with me.
Yeah, and
Can't let me be left alone.
yeah, and here's the little boy right now. But
Aw.
like what sometimes he'll do is he'll like if there's enough room, he'll jump in the shower and just sit on the back part of the shower, like
Yeah, the dry part.
the dry
My
part,
my cats do that too.
and he'll just like chill there until like like part of the shower head like splashes water on him, and then he'll fuck off.
Hmm.
But yeah, but I
Or mine will like be in between the cloth shower curtain and the plastic liner.
he does that too. He does that too. But here's the thing: is
Hmm.
I kind of want to encourage him to because like giving him a bath is such a pain in the ass. I just want him to be comfortable with water. Like I just want him
Yeah.
to be able to be like okay, cool, you're in the shower. Like so that's why it's like not that big of a deal for me because like I know eventually when it comes to like bath time and I'm gonna have to scrub him down and all this other stuff, like it's gonna be less of a terrifying experience if he can get used because running water or like loud noises, he freaks out hard.
Hmm.
Vacuums, anything like that, even if it's like a minor.
Okay, well, yeah, all cats hate the vacuum.
Yeah, but like he hates
But
Roombas and all this stuff like that.
oh,
And
even a Roomba is enough to set him off.
oh, he flips out when a Roomba goes off. And so like he flips he used to flip like he didn't flip out mostly because like I used to give him a lot more showers. I used to do it like every 2 weeks or so and then I stopped for like a whole year and then I haven't done it since. But he used to be super chill, but now
Okay,
he
I mean,
just doesn't like it.
unless he's getting himself muddy, you probably shouldn't be bathing him that often anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be bad for his skin.
Yeah. No, I barely bathe him these days. I usually have like front line and stuff like that. Anyways, so yeah, so Mikasa being fucking Mikasa. I like I was siding with Armin, and then you brought that up, and I'm like, ah, fuck, never mind then. But yeah, so you see Mikasa being like about to be like, let's spy on them, let's do this. Like it's not Aaron's fault. And then you see later that Armin's like, maybe we'll explain it to him. Maybe Aaron doesn't know what's going on, you know. And maybe if we explain it to him, we'll logically think this out and all this stuff like that. And then Mikasa being Mikasa, because like I love the part, and this is skipping a little bit ahead because there's some other stuff I want to get into. But skipping a little bit ahead, you see that like Jean and Connor are like, whose side are you on, Mikasa? And Mikasa's like, do you have to say we almost got blown up? And I'm like, Mikasa, you didn't really answer the question there. That was like
Mm.
a like I was in this scenario, so whose side do you think I'm on? Um, fucking
Yeah, but
Mikasa.
it would have been better just to answer the question.
I mean, no, not for Mikasa, because we all know Mikasa would have been Aaron's side. It's a loaded
Oh yeah,
question to
100%.
for in Mikasa's defense. It's a loaded question. It's like
Oh,
she
very
loves.
much so. But it should be based on her history.
Yeah,
She's not good at being objective when it comes to Aaron.
but yeah, Mikasa being Mikasa. Also, I like the fact, just the simple thing when Mikasa, like before the explosion and stuff like that, Mikasa and Armin when they're talking to Zachary. I love the fact that Zachary says we suspect that Aaron and like he lays out the evidence before them and says like we suspect these things, but we're not 100% sure and da 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 da. But we don't want to take our chances. I like the fact that because I'm like that's what the people in Marley should have said. Because it's not like we
Yeah, oh yeah,
know.
our notes from that post credit scene from last week.
Oh yeah,
It-
yeah,
They were a little too confident. It's like, did the narrator slip you a note or some shit? Like, how are you?
yeah. How did you know all of this stuff that you weren't
You
there
have a
for?
little too much out of character knowledge here.
Yeah. They're like, we like, if you suspected that stuff, I would be like, yeah. But if you're like, oh my goodness, like,
Yeah, they're
like you're 100%, I'm like, okay,
confident.
wait. But yeah, um, I do want to touch on the fact Pixis is a fucking badass. I love like the more and more I see, I want more Pixis. Like, god damn, is he a
Yeah,
fucking
he's awesome.
like his whole entire conversation with Yelena is amazing. Like, oh my god. Like you see Yelena
I'm
like
very
you know
glad he came back as a character.
yeah. Like we see Yelena like going in and just full on being like who gives a shit? I just wanted him to notice me. Like you just see her like break like
Yeah, she shows her zealot side a lot more in this episode.
yeah. And you see Pixis suspiciously is just kind of like, yeah, it's okay. Do you know how to lie? Like he just straight up asked her, "Do you know
Oh
how to
yeah, I love
lie?"
that line. It's like, you know how to tell a good lie, you gotta sprinkle a little bit of the truth.
I know. Like and he's so calm and like so they didn't so like this is one thing like I guess I kind of got wrong. I don't know if I got it wrong yet or not. But like they had their little tea. and stuff like that. And I don't know if they're on the countryside. I don't know if they're at a restaurant. I don't know what's going on, but I know that they're having tea and stuff like that. And it's very chill. And then he brings out this
Seems to
book.
be at some sort of government building. It's hard to tell where. I
Yeah,
don't have a good sense of yet, like I said, where it's taking place.
yeah, same. And also, did that book when he put that book down? Did that was that because like at first I was thinking like I'm like that is that Grisha's book or is that just a book?
I think it's just a note for them to like, just like a random notebook for them to take notes about what happened with that whole section she's being questioned on.
Yeah, because it was just weird because they show the recruit that's holding it, and then they like put the book down. They focus on the book when it's put down, and then they like
I
focus on the center of the book, like the with the little picture and stuff like that. And I'm like, does this mean anything? Because I'm not picking up anything. And so,
I got more the sense that it was for note taking for writing in rather than that there was something written in the book. Like that was just sort of a what is uh, I forget the name. Just like their
a journal,
um not journal. You know,
a log.
no dictating. They're just dictating notes to like
Oh, okay.
what is I have a word on the tip of my tongue that I cannot think of.
No worries, man. If you want to go look up that word, like, go ahead. But yeah, but like, so like going into that, um, the we also get to see Hanj and Anyankapan, and I wrote his name down so I could say it.
All right.
But yeah, we see Hanj and Anyankapan. By the way, I just love them together. Like maybe I don't mean to ship, but like their whole entire like Anyankapan's like wacky like on it, and Hanj is like super crazy. But like, what was with that face where she like goes, like she looks like she wanted to mentally cry and confide in Anyankapan, and she just slams on the table and gets right up in his face, and you just see Anyankapan like it was literally something. And maybe it's just me because I've been watching a lot of like comedy anime and slice of life anime like Shoujo Bitch and stuff like that. Um, but that's like
Hmm.
a common either like they're like really good friends or it's kind of like the like oh my goodness like I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I really like their whole entire relationship, but it was just so out of place, and then they like do a normal conversation about Yelena, and we find out Yelena's a little bit of a psychotic bitch.
Yeah, she's much more of a nut job than she originally showed herself to be.
Yeah, she's like
So I feel for Han. She's got a lot. She bears a lot heavier of a burden than she's used to in previous seasons being in charge. She's not handling the stress well, and I feel for her.
yeah, no, it's crazy. Yeah, no, I like Hanj and Anyakapan's relationship and everything that's like going on with them, and we find out that Yelena's like yeah, little cuckoo. She's like murdered fellow Marleyan allies or whatever. Like they just mysteriously had accidents. One of them accidentally fell off a roof, and no one questioned it. We also find out that Yelena was also the one who like organized and negotiated rights for the Marleyans captives. For example, they can live in like we find out where like they're staying, like restaurants and strategically around the city.
Mm.
We also find out the like so the with whole Mikasa's whole thing uh where like you know because we knew like both me and you were like yeah they're just using Mikasa, it's not going to warrant that much of an explanation, but apparently no, like they're like yeah no we're known as this, but also we still have our dignity, and they're like really banking on Mikasa to become the next heir because like Mikasa straight out told
Yeah,
them.
well,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Mikasa basically told them to go fuck themselves. Still, like expanding on what we said last week about that, I still don't know how much of it's bullshit. The whole air thing, like how legit is that reverence they have for her? Are they just trying to use her, or do they really? It seems to be a mixture of both. I just don't know how much of it is manipulation.
Yeah, you don't know what percentage it's falling under. Yeah, because I feel the same way. Like, because like I'm like I don't know how much of this it is, but with this episode and the conversation they had, I feel like it was like all put out on the table, right? Like it was like because she like literally fessed up to Mikasa saying like, you know what, this is true. Like because
Yeah,
Mikasa was
yeah.
like basically,
They
I'm
say
an
we're
elder.
greedy, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
But still, I feel like there it still sets off a little bit of the bullshit meter. You know,
yeah.
I don't feel like she's being 100% genuine.
I don't know.
Maybe she is, but it's so hard to tell. I cannot give a firm answer one way or the other.
I feel like I can give a little bit more of a firmer answer than at least you in this aspect where I'm like, yeah, no, I feel as though she's being genuine. I mean, like because she admitted that she was using Mikasa, and that she still wants to use Mikasa, but she also like was like, we need you, we need you to be protected. Like there's obviously this use being used, but there's also this like
Yeah.
kind of like I would say it's like a 60-40 type of thing. But you see Commander Pixis. I guess we might as well actually before we get into that, we should get into the fact that Eren did escape. He's like full on badass now, dude. Like when did he become like this rippling supervillain? Like the abs and
Yeah.
like his full on like he comes up and he's like. Also, we
He
noticed
is definitely an evil Chad at
he's an
this
evil
point.
Chad. But like, also, did he use his Titan recently? Because like, because usually the eye thing doesn't that fade away after a while?
Well, he would have used the Warhammer Titan to escape. He like when he talked to Hanj a few episodes ago. They basically stated outright, the Warhammer Titan, I can construct shit through the ground. I can use that to escape at any time.
They didn't
So he
explain how he
basically said
escaped.
that outright.
Yeah,
It doesn't really matter. Could have done it any number of ways. Some would have created more of a body count than others. But the important part was that he managed to be shirtless for most of it.
I know that's insane, and also the fact.
So now he shares that in common with the younger version of Zeke who invaded the island 4 years ago,
Ah,
where he
fuck!
just seems to like want to show off his abs.
It just runs in the family. But getting back into it, yeah, no, it's crazy. And then we see, like obviously the recruits Flocko or Falk, because remember in season 3 he was
Fuck.
Flock, yeah, Flock. He was trashing
Yeah, he's the guy
Aaron.
that was a member of the MP. Him
Yeah,
and Hitch, right?
yeah, him and Hitch,
They
but
were
like he was like, why are we doing
recruited
all this
for that
bullshit?
last mission. So
Which
he
is crazy.
became like real, like hardcore, like Aaron Stan in
I
between
know.
in the time jump.
Which is insane because of how much he hated Aaron. He's like, because I remember his words were like, I will never like you. I will never side with you. Which, looking back on it, I'm like, oh, obviously you're going to side with him. But at the time, I was all like, no,
Mm-mm.
he's obviously hating on, like, because Aaron brought back Armin and not Irwin. Um,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, but apparently, like, he's a huge. Something happened during that 3 years where he's all like, I want to suck that dick.
It's those abs, man. I mean, as soon as Aaron got abs, he's on board.
Yeah, he's all like, oh, God, I'm feeling things that I haven't felt before. So we see that like
Aaron is the kind of character that uses his big dick energy for evil.
he's become like total Chad villain. And so we see that like so here's the thing is one Irwin's best friend Irwin the he's dead now, but like the old commander.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to clarify
Yep.
that because words are hard in this anime. um Go check out our German names are hard episode on YouTube. You'll see we'll spend 30 minutes complaining about how hard these names are. But yeah, so
Whether it's them being hard or us being dumb or some combination of the two, we have a lot of trouble with them.
hey, to be fair, the voice actors do too.
Yeah, at a certain point, I'm not convinced that the characters know the names of the people they're talking to sometimes. 'Cause they do seem to change a little bit depending on how hard they're anime yelling them.
They do. So
Hanj especially.
So I feel like you would know this, but do you know
Anji.
Irwin's? He's the MP, right? He's the captain of the MP. Do you know his actual name? Because I forgot.
Oh, the like shady looking guy.
Yeah, who has like
Uh,
the what's up?
the dark haired guy.
Yeah,
Shit. What is his name?
like like him and Irwin, like
Nile.
yeah. Well, but you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
Like they,
he hasn't been in it for a while, but he came back in this episode.
yeah. Well, he was in last episode too, and so he was at the. Remember when Nikolai? I was going off about the wine thing and stuff like that. Like he was one of the guys at the dinner table, like telling the other guy to like shut up or chill. Like he was explaining that Historia is her own person and all this other stuff.
Yeah, you're talking about the commander of the military police, right?
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Nile Doc,
Nile Doc,
which is Nile Doc.
Nile
The
Cock.
Nilu Doc. Wow, that's terrible. I'm not going to remember that. I had to look it up.
Anyways,
I could picture the guy in my head. He's kind of scraggly looking guy, dark hair,
yeah, dark short
bags under his
hair.
eyes,
Yeah, but like so
and
like
the kind of facial hair that makes you immediately distrust him.
so okay,
And
so like but
and
so
bolo ties as far as the eye can see. A lot of fucking bolo ties in Attack on Titan this season.
yeah, that's another thing. But like going into him because like you see that there's like this like so like right when Aaron escapes, everyone's like it's right on the cusp of the explosion and stuff like that. So you see all this finger
Mm.
pointing, right? Where like Armin's analyzing how this could have possibly happened. Military police is like, well, they mostly came from the scouts and stuff like that. And you see Armin's like
Mm.
clicking it all together. And the moment he mentions like the scout, not the scouts, the
Military police
yeah, the
that they
military
saw.
police
They
and
were
like all that stuff like that. You see his face go deadpan, look at Armin like don't say shit. Like that's what I got. I don't know how you felt with that face, but like that face was all like I'm like, is he a Jaegerist? Like they hadn't come up with the
I
term yet, but like
really don't know at this point.
because he does that deadpan face, right? He hangs out at the Nikolai restaurant. He was there in episode 10. He was here right now, and he was in the military police. And you see as Armin's like, because he's talking out loud. He's talking to everybody because everyone's in disarray. No one knows what's going on. Armin logics it all out, but he like Armin stops mid sentence as he looks dead at the military at Nigel, and or Niall or whatever his freaking name is, and he just and Niall just deadpan looks at him like that total sus like he's been caught whatever, right? And then you see like
I wasn't really sure what to take from that. I don't know. Maybe he is on a secret Aranist. I don't know.
yeah, I mean I could be like reading way too much into this as well. It's just it was such
Maybe
a it,
anything is possible at this point.
but it was such a visual thing. And so like you see that like okay Pixis is like comes in because the military police and the scouts are like fighting and everyone's like, well, all the Jaegerists came from the scouts. How do we know you're not Jaegerist? And we're like, whoa, 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 chill. Like
I don't think he is because he seemed to be like one of the people involved in the plan to like take the founding titan from Jaeger.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he was or not because he didn't really nothing that he said really gave it away. But like at the same time, like I said, I could be reading way too much into this. But like you see that like Commander Pixis comes in, right? And he's all like, infighting's not gonna do us anything. And then he's like straight up like he says it in like if you just took his scene where he bursts into the meeting room and was like logicking everything out and he's all like we have to stand behind Aaron and Zeke. And then he's all like, we may not have to. The premiere is gone, but we have to like do all this stuff like that. And then he looks to Hizuru and is like, I'm sorry you had to see that. And then we get that Mikasa scene that we were talking about earlier.
Mm,
But like,
yeah,
but like because of his conversation with Yelena, and because he specifically said, "Do you know how to lie?" You got to sprinkle a little bit of truth into it. I'm like, Pixis, are you secretly a Jaegerist? Because that's like left field. Like you're coming in here, right? Saying that you need to back up Zeke and Jaeger and that you're going to use Zeke as a bargaining chip, but we have to stand behind these and gain the trust back of the public. Which, again, it sounds like a logical plan. It sounds like that's their only course of action to not like just entirely destroy themselves. Like, and it's like you know,
Yeah.
it's like you have to suck. We just, you know, like we fucked up. We have to suck it up. Aaron is a Titan and can use the Rumble at any time. And if we try to fight that, we're all gonna die. So the only way what we can do is like hold Zeke, negotiate with Aaron, back him up, but hopefully we get something out of it, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I don't think he's definitely not like the zealot, like, follow Jaegerist,
but he
but
seems,
he's willing to work with them for the greater good.
yeah, but
Like
also,
he laid it out pretty plainly. It's like, yeah, it sucks what happened to Zachary. They do deserve to be punished, but we can't afford to do that right now because we're
you're about to
we
start a
have an
world war.
incoming invasion. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
We will get destroyed by the outside world if that's not our sole focus is dealing with that.
yeah, and it makes sense, but it's just weird because again, I just go back to that conversation he had with Yelena, and it almost seems like there's a little truth sprinkled into to what Pixis was saying. Like it seems like I feel like Pixis is like on the side of Zeke and Jaeger. He's not as much of a zealot, but I don't think he's as upset about the course of events as he was in that meeting
It
room.
would be a
There,
clever way to lay that in via storytelling if that is the intent.
yeah, because it just seems like there was just a little bit of acting in that meeting room by Pixis, just a little bit, not a whole lot, but just a little bit to make me be like,
Yeah, but I don't think it's to the point where like Pixis was involved in the assassination. I mean,
no, I
that'd be
don't,
kind of out of character.
no, I don't think that he was involved in the assassination at all, but I think what he was doing is like I feel like he supports Aaron and Zeke's plan. The assassination was probably just a surprise for him, but it doesn't change the course of his plan. The fact that everyone was
Yeah, it
straying
also
away from the
doesn't
main.
seem like the assassination. It was just kind of like it wasn't part of like a grand scheme. It was just like a fucking rogue idiot bombing. The
Yeah,
Jaegers do not seem organized at all. Like there's no command structure in there. They're just a bunch of angry assholes. They're falling under Aaron's sway, but it's not like Aaron ordered the assassination.
yeah. It's not like Aaron told him to do this as well. Like even when he shows up, he's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, this is what you got. This is a lot of people." And he's like, "Yep." And he's like, and the guy's like, "We got much more in, like we have more spies in the military as well." Which makes me think, who is a spy in the military? That's the other thing is like they say that too, and then they cut to the meeting room, and
you
it like,
might be right about Niles.
yeah, because they're like we have spies in every branch too. It's not like just in the scouts. It's like military police, scout regiment, and they have it in the it's the military police, the scout regiment, and
Shit,
I forgot. But the one with the roses, the one that Commander Pixis is a part of,
Garrison.
the garrison,
Garrison.
garrison. Uh,
That feels 80 to 90% right.
yeah.
Yeah, Garrison. Okay, I had to Google that real quick.
But yeah, so like there's like spies in each one. So like yeah, so that's just like it's just these little things that are like making me think, oh, what's going on? And I'll get to this because I'm like looking at this point. I'm like I'm gonna touch on this one later because it's towards the end. Actually, no, since we're here already, this part is a little weird, but we see Pike or Peak, like because we see Hanj starting to be like, it was strange how Yelena negotiated everything and how where she has everyone. For example, restaurants, right? And I remember last episode, or like yeah, like I believe it was last episode we were talking about this. Um, where I was all like, oh my god, they're gonna have like a massive meetup. They're all gonna go to this like one location, and I feel like Nikolai is like a spy or whatever. And now this is getting into like the preview territory, which I will talk about as well. But like we see that like they're all rushing. So we got like Mikasa, Armin, Jean, Connor, Anyakapan, and Hanji going towards the restaurant where Nikolai's going. Gabby's gonna be there. Freaking Falco's gonna be there. Sasha's family's gonna be there. Nikolai's gonna be there. And it seems like all of them are gonna be going there. And like there is gonna be this like just massive meetup that's gonna
It
happen.
definitely seems like some shit's gonna pop off in the next episode, especially with Piek
I don't.
popping up in that last couple seconds.
Yeah. but I'm so glad because like I said this last episode. I was like, it's either this episode or next episode. They're all gonna meet in one location. And I remember you were like making fun and you're like, oh my god, and then, like that would be like the most anime trope anime thing ever. And I'm like,
It would be a lot of like we definitely thought like this episode's coming up next week is the episode we thought this week was going to be like, especially with the whole restaurant Gabby thing.
yeah,
Having that getting sidelined for an episode we didn't really anticipate.
no, we didn't. Like, there's a lot of stuff we didn't anticipate, but the fact that like they got confirmed because it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, no, that would be like way too convenient. That would be way too like,
It still is, but they spent more time setting it up
yeah,
in this episode.
which was smart.
If yeah, so it will feel less forced if it does end up happening that way, but it's still pretty convenient. All the story threads happen to line up at this one restaurant at the same time.
Which is, but I still find it funny, and it looks like even Peak is gonna like even the people. I did not predict the people of Marley to be at the restaurant. I wasn't expecting it to be that convenient.
So quickly too, yeah.
That was the other thing.
It's definitely going to pop off by the end of the next episode. Well, maybe not. I don't know, but it's something. It's going to like ramp up into like the heavy action bits for the last. I anticipate once like near the end of this next episode, there's going to be an inciting incident everywhere. It sets off a big battle that will last to the end of this set of episodes.
Yeah, because like okay, so like here's the few things because now we're like at the end and we can get into like previews and stuff like that.
Mm.
But like real quick, it was weird that they got there that fast. Like I don't know, like because so like order of events and because remember Zeke only has 1 year, right, to do all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was at the beginning of this season. We were like, okay,
Yep.
he has 1 year. So like to recap how fast all of this is happening, right? And we know Aaron had been there for like 6 months, or like not even 6 months. Like how long did they say his time in Marley was? It was like years. It was like 2 years.
No, it wasn't quite that long. I don't think.
It was like 2 years or 6 months or something. Like
2 years ago was when they met up with. They had that mysterious meeting that they're trying to figure out what happened.
Yeah.
But I don't think Aaron disappeared right after that because it definitely didn't seem like he had been gone for quite that long when they met back up with him on like the airship.
Yeah. They do mention how long he was gone for. I just forgot
It was like 6 months or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, 8 months. I feel like it was a year. It was like it was one of those three. Those are all like ringing bells. But I just can't.
A year seems like a bit much. 6 months feels
months
right.
sounds...
I can't think of a specific reason why that would be correct, but it feels about right.
Yeah. So like he was there for like 6 months, right? So and he was sending letters during that time as well. So like because Pixa says, "Oh, you had Aaron force us," and Yelena's like, "No, we didn't expect him to do that, but he did it and it worked." But like yeah, so he did so he was in there for like 6 months or whatnot, right? So I gotta like because these letters, these like because it was multiple letters, and maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I think Aaron says, "Well, you got my letter," and I'm like, where were the other letters sent to? And so, like, I'm thinking, like, in my head, this is total theory brain. Justice is going off on his theory tangent thingy. If you watch my Danganronpa, you'll get it, because I always bring out the paper, and I always do the Charlie with the string and the pins and the da-da-da. And maybe this is my theory brain. But, say, for example, we take what Armin said at the beginning, where, like, if they touch, they can share memories, right? And all that other stuff, right? Let's just say, for argument's sake, that is a thing, right? There's no false memories or any of that stuff. They can just share each other's memories, right? As much as when is willing, right? Let's say Zeke and Aaron actually met up somehow, some way, right? They met like at least once, right? And they like touched hands for like 5 minutes, shared as much information as they possibly could, and then they left, right? Let's just again, just for this theory to work, let's just say that happened. It doesn't. It's not I mean, I don't think it's like important to the overall theory, but let's just say it happened for the sake of it, right? All right. Now let's say Zeke was at the time trying to, because we saw in like there was like when they were in the meeting room, Zeke was meeting with Peak, with Poco or like Gilliard or whatever his name is, and was meeting with Reiner and all of them, right? And he was hatching this plan because we at this point, like looking back on it, we can see that like, oh, he was trying to get his close comrades in on his plan, but he couldn't because Marlians were listening in on him because they were like, oh, we're just having coffee. He's like, yeah, why can't we just have coffee? And he's like casually talking about all this stuff. But like, you know, you see Zeke in his head, like when he's like looks at the thing, he's like, oh, I guess we can't do it here. And at the time, we're like, we didn't know what that meant. Now we do. But like, because the Marlians were listening in on him and all that stuff, right? So let's say that all the letters Aaron was sending were to Peak, were to Gilliard, were to maybe not Reiner, but like to at least Peak.
I don't see that though. I definitely think. I mean, some of them were somehow getting back to parodies, and I suspect some of them were going to Zeke because he said they were going to his family, which I thought was like a coded reference to that. But it just doesn't seem like that would be a bit of a twist if like Peak and Galliard were in on it.
Yeah, it would be a huge twist, and
that would explain why he didn't kill Galliard, or he was so like lax to. Because man, I mean,
he could have.
You remember my complaint where he could have, he had him,
yeah,
but he let it go so easily. Like, I still just don't see it happening. It's just especially.
It would be a weird twist
because it would. Because then it wouldn't make sense why like Piak and Galliard are, because even when they're alone and not being watched by Marlians at all, they're still acting out of the loop.
Yeah,
like when they get trapped at the bottom of that hole by Helena, they don't know what the fuck's going on. They're not clued into any of this, and if they were, they wouldn't be pretending to each other.
Well, Peak might have been clued in, but maybe Galliard wasn't. So Peak had to
maybe.
Peak had to like.
It's definitely much more likely that Peak is loyal to Zeke.
Yeah. But
if that was true, then why would she reveal like Helena's betrayal and like she's the one that clued them into the whole thing of like Zeke's people?
Yeah. Well, let me finish my theory real quick because, like I said, there's two ways this could go. This is just one of the ways I'm thinking about.
Okay. Yeah.
So going into it, so they give the letters to parodies and all of stuff like that so they can do the plan, but also maybe to like Peak or like Peak and Galliard or whatever, right? And all of this like this 4D chess is being played, right? So like maybe it's not Galliard, but maybe it's Peak, right? So she's upping the act and all this other stuff, and it's like maybe it was to like initiate the attack because remember like Zeke is planning all this stuff, right? And the military was like, we're going to take 6 months, but they're like, no, we have to do this now. And like maybe it was to pressure Marley into going to this, and then now the rest of the, because remember we have Hizuru, which is coming, and Hizuru says something very interesting when she's talking to Mikasa. She's like, the rest of the world is relying on us to make this work. If this doesn't work, the rest of the world is going to attack us instead. And I thought that was very weird. That was a very weird sentence that Hizuru said to Mikasa. Like, in her whole venting session. She's like, the rest of the world. I'm like, wait, what? Like, how many other countries are a part of supporting parodies? Like, because they casually mentioned this a few times. There's other countries that are supporting them, but we only ever see Hizuru. And apparently in this episode, she's like, we're the representatives. So I'm like, okay, cool. So you're representing some of the other countries that are, like, on Parody's side, essentially.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, well then what if it's to pressure all four of them, like to get on parodies, and then Marley's attacked by what if this is Zeke's true plan to like get them to all attack parodies, or not parodies, Marley, when they got their biggest defense, which is Pike, Reiner, Gilliard, and all of their titans on parodies right now. Marley gets attacked by the rest of the world. Then it turns out that Pete, Galliard, and all of them are going to betray Marley, and now Parodies and the Titans are attacking Marley when Marley's already attacked by the rest of the world, overthrowing Marley and ending their whole entire reign. Now that would be crazy. I could see Zeke doing something like that. The other thing is Zeke's like, because we still don't know Zeke's full plan. And I remember at the beginning, like I was saying, I'm like, I think he might betray Paradise. He might also support Paradise. I don't know. Like we don't know too much about
Yeah,
Zeke, and I know,
especially since like we haven't had anything like in terms of Zeke talking or explaining himself since he got back to Paradise.
yeah,
I've been waiting for that to happen in each episode, and other than showing that he's being held by those trees with Levi, nothing.
yeah, nothing.
Like
And
I want to have like him sit down with Hanj or something and explain, because we have no idea what his motivations or even the details of his plan are, other than those couple bullet points we got.
but
And
I
that
feel
whole
like
thing where a whole world versus Marley and it kind of shifts it. I think that's interesting. I don't know that that's going to happen, especially the whole Piek and Galliard. Like, it wouldn't make sense the way they acted, especially alone. Like I said, when they're in that hole, they're not clued into anything going on.
yeah, no, I get it. So this is where
There's
my
a lot of I get what you're going at. I just there's a couple holes that I don't think quite add up.
no, I agree. Like there's holes in both of them.
Especially since they're setting up Aaron to be the villain.
Yeah. And like I said, there's holes in both of these theories. So that was theory number one, right? Like Zeke
All
is
right.
like playing the long game. He's playing 4D chess. Like I guarantee you, like so my for this theory to work, Zeke would have had to have Zeke with Aaron would have had to have like manipulated everyone, right? He told Hizuru one thing, he told Paradis one thing, he told his recruits like Peak, Reiner, and Galliard one thing while keeping other information of the plan. Like I feel like Zeke is the only one who knows Zeke's plan, and everyone else
Exactly.
knows parts
And
of the plan.
until we get to hear from him what that is, like we can only speculate.
Yeah, and
We are still so much in the dark.
yeah, but I feel like it would cover some of the potholes, like why Peak and Galliard didn't know what was going on. They may have not know what was going on in that moment, but they knew exactly like maybe how to play the military when it came to like when they find out that Zeke betrayed them somehow. It also explained why they were so 100% confident that Zeke betrayed them rather than just like speculating that Zeke betrayed them. But anyways, so going into the second theory, say all of this stuff is going on. What if Zeke is actually betraying Paradise? What if this was the long game, right? He's like, because
Or the Marlians, yeah, like, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because like he's like at the beginning.
If anything,
like,
that makes more sense than the other way around.
Yeah. So like, what if it's like, what if he's like, I only have 1 year to do this. This is my long shot. I have a plan, and he says that at the beginning of like I think episode 2.
Pretending to betray Marley so that he can betray Paradise and use them to destroy themselves, basically.
Yeah, but
it makes as much or more sense than the other way around. But since we never get to hear it from him, it's impossible to know. We're so in the dark.
Well, it makes more sense, but then why not tell Marley the plan, right? Why keep the plan from Marley or its top officials, or why like
because like, you don't know who you can trust in terms of spies and everything else. Certainly,
I guess, but it wouldn't explain why Yelena was like so adamant about killing any non-believer. And like there's just as many plot holes in this theory as well, because in my head I'm like, okay, well, what if Zeke is gonna betray Paradise and stuff like that? Like how does he influence
Yelena
Aaron?
Trusting Zeke does not make Zeke trustworthy. He could just as easily betray her too.
Yeah, but like it doesn't explain why Aaron's on board then, right? Like
yeah, but like I said, we don't really know Zeke's motivations. He could be lying and playing people against each other. We don't know if we can trust him.
He's like just because he's turning out to be a joker.
Aaron on board.
He just wants to see the world
burn. People just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah, like again, it is right, but like these are my two prevailing theories that I got going on my head and it's all because Peak is there, right? It's all because she is there, And I'm like, how did she get there so fast? Because again, going back to the timeline, he says not even a year. He says he has less than a year to get this plan done, right? So
Mhm.
we see like what a month
Well,
go
we're only
by.
like like a week or two out from the attack on Marley
Yeah,
port at this point.
yeah, and
And that post-credit scene, we don't know chronologically when that took place. Like that could have been like a week or two ago, like right after the attack at this point, that they
yeah.
decide, and then they get a ship over to, you know.
But like, here's the thing: is like, so like, there's a couple of things that like I have going on my head that like just make me a little confused because like one discovering
Mhm.
that much information and confirming that just seems way too immediate. Like so we have 1 month before Aaron blows up the place. So that's 1 month of Zeke's time gone, right? Then we like there's the
Okay.
recovery and say let's give them benefit of the doubt because they do fly away and stuff like that. Let's give them benefit of the doubt and I would say a week is a little bit too fast to come to a conclusion like that, but sure, let's give them that week, right? So they get a week, and then let's say they're gonna do an immediate attack right there. So we'll say the following week. How long do you think it would take to get from there to Parodies? Like a week, less than a week.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
So like a week. So already we have 2 months that have gone by for them to, for discovery, planning this, and then heading out there for just to get immediate infiltration going on. Right during this time, mind you, there is a port being built. And it's like you have to ask yourself how did they get onto the island without being discovered? Because remember, they have a port, they have people at that port, and all that other
Well,
stuff.
they have their Titan forms, and they don't necessarily have to go to that port. They could find another like beach or something.
Fair enough. Okay, fine.
They could take a more secretive route,
Okay, fine.
especially with their Titan powers. They can bypass traditional, travel.
All right, fine, fair enough. So we'll say it's 2 months, right? 2 months to investigate while all of this chaos and stuff is going down, right? So okay, so it's
Even
been
that, I think they could have pulled that off quicker in terms of getting from, the attack on the port to their retaliatory infiltration. I think they could get that done in a month.
that's why I'm saying it's been 2 months since I'm talking about
Okay,
since
yeah.
Zeke, because it was remember they had the festival, they had all the stuff.
Oh, since Zeke decided to betray everybody, I mean, yeah, that could have been months in the making.
Yeah, so, well, I'm saying but since when Zeke and like from the beginning of the episode, from the beginning of the season, I'm accounting that time in too. So I'm
Okay, from that, then yeah, it's probably been a month to 2 months
yeah, because remember Zeke's
from that initial end of the previous Marleyan war where they got attacked after the end of last season
yeah.
to the whole now infiltrating. That I think 2 months sounds reasonable.
2 months sounds reasonable, yeah. Because remember, Zeke's the one on the time limit. So I'm like, this is me trying to plan his whole thing out, right? So
Hmm.
like we have like 2 months, right? And we'll say he's been planning this for a while, but like this is like the start of his plan in action, right? For all of this to work
All
out.
right.
So like it's been 2 months. So now they've infiltrated, right? And they had to have negotiations and stuff like that. We know a lot of time has passed, right? For all of this to since so like they say they get there, we know that since Zeke's been on the island, like at least 3 months have passed, right? Because there's a lot
Wait,
of stuff
what do you
that
mean?
happened. So like Zeke got back on the island. They announced it as a victory, right? Then they had a few. They had days where it was like, we gotta like lock these people up. We're gonna try and figure stuff out. Like has it been a few months or has it only been a few days?
I think a few days.
Because that's a lot.
Like,
That's
you
a
think
lot to happen in
you
a few
think
days.
Aaron just sat in like spent months sitting imprisoned,
Probably not.
and
So it's probably been a week.
Zeke being sequestered out by those trees. It especially if like I said, he's on a timeline that he would just let months go by at that point. I
No,
feel like it's been like a couple weeks at most since the whole escaping on the airship thing.
I'm. You know what? I have to
At,
watch that.
at most, I think it's more likely it's been like a week.
I think
They
it.
got back. They bury Sasha. Aaron's in prison for a few days. Escapes after a few
Gabby and,
days.
and Falco escape.
It's a few days at most. It definitely is not in the span of months.
Okay, fine. All right. So okay. So we'll say all of this stuff is happening, right? He's with obviously Zeke is with Levi, as we've seen in the preview. Levi and Zeke are like
Mm.
having their one-on-one bro moment, where Zeke wants to really kill. I mean, where Levi wants to really kill Zeke, and Zeke is just kind of like, I'm chilling here.
Mm.
And we also see Aaron is like, we got to find Zeke. Let's find out where he's at, right? So yeah, so it just Peak's presence makes me think, oh hey, either Zeke is betraying Parodies, or Zeke is Zeke's or Zeke has somehow convinced Peak and possibly the others to betray Marley. In addition to all of that, Pixis tells Hizuru to go to the port, and they make it like she's like, come to the port, like Hizuru tells Mikasa, come to the port with us. If you
Yeah,
need
if
safety, come to the
anything
port.
goes wrong, please escape to the port, and we will like get you off the island.
Which seems a little sus, because like it makes me think one of two things: either Hizuru is knows what Zeke's plan is and is like, come to the port because we're gonna kidnap you because something's gonna happen on Parodies, or like something's gonna happen at the port.
I
Either
mean, that's possible.
Mar-
I saw it more as just like Kizaru's like, you know what? Like this shit may go like completely south, and if we have to cut our losses, let's at least get Mikasa out of the deal. Because like if shit does go completely wrong and they can't like use Parodies for their resources, and at least you get an heir to their family
yeah,
out of it.
like a proper heir to the throne.
So yeah, it's just like this. It's like a little, like if shit starts going wrong, like come on, we'll fuck off.
Yeah. Well, like so, like for me, it's like
So that way they don't leave completely empty-handed.
yeah, but like for me, I was thinking like and again, I think yours makes a lot more sense than what I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I
Mhm.
think either Marley is gonna
Yeah,
do a full on scale attack and Hizuru is gonna get caught up in that attack, or Hizuru is gonna leave with Marley, and it turns out that Hizuru was also in on Zeke's plan to betray Paradis, and they got like they're trying to get Mikasa out of the deal. But going into the and then going into the preview, no
Mhm.
bonus scene this time. But going into the preview,
Yeah.
where I was like, remember how I was talking about the fucking wine and how I think Nikolai is like poisoning them, and like Niall was at the place too, and I was like, oh man, but you're like, yeah, that's way too crazy. Well, in the preview, we see, I don't know who's holding it. I think it's Nikolai or someone, but we see Jean. Like we see his face and we see his hand smack the wine down on the ground. And I was all like,
So maybe there was something to that with the poison one, but maybe he was saying this one, right, has been like, this is not the poison one, right? Because we're not poisoning them yet.
yeah, maybe that's what it was. I
Yeah.
I don't
Because
know. But like but we see
you were
Jean
saying,
just
oh,
smack the bottle
he's
of wine.
poisoning them right now. It's like, that's definitely not what's happening. Just from a timeline perspective, it wouldn't make sense. But if he's like double checking, like, this isn't one of the poison bottles, then that makes that scene make sense.
And it would also make
And
this
I can
current
get
scene make
on board
sense.
with that.
Yeah. Because like why else would Jean have any reason to smack like in a preview smack a wine bottle out of his hand? I was all like,
Yeah,
I just felt a little
I'm on
validated
board
in
for
that
it.
preview. I was all like, I had this theory, and it was like way out there, and
You
then
may
they
be
did it, and
right.
I'm like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, like, cause like I'm like. It just feels nice to feel like, oh my god, I actually thought about this, and some of these things are coming right. I'm just taking wins where I can get them. Um,
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm on board now, especially if it's in that context, like I said, where he's double checking that he's
mhm,
not accidentally poisoning them too early.
yeah,
Then
and
that would make that scene make a lot more sense in context.
it also what makes me think that because like Niall or Neil or whatever his name is, um, like he was there as well in that scene, and that's what makes me think maybe he's a Jaegerist because maybe he's frequents the restaurant. Maybe Nikolai is a Jaegerist. I don't know. Like there's a lot of like stuff open
Or
up in the
not
air.
necessarily a Jaegerist, but some other hidden faction where like Niccolo is working with Niall for some other purpose we're not aware of.
Yeah, or maybe like Nicolo's just caught up in this, like somehow like he's like he's doing his own thing or whatever. Like he's like I don't know. I don't know. Because remember,
Either
Yelena,
way, it's gonna at least start to get crazy next episode.
watch it's not going to get
Like,
crazy. Like we always say that. We always say it's going to get crazy next episode. It's going to get crazy, guys. And it gets crazy, but not in like any action-packed sense. In like just this.
I
very
think by
social
the end
tension.
of the episode, somebody's gonna turn into a Titan and kill somebody. Oh, and Gabby's gonna do that thing I said, where she at least considers murdering 3 separate people
Well,
who don't deserve it.
Well, I see. I don't know about that because I feel like it's gonna be Connor and Jean that like because remember they know who Gabby is. They know who Falco is too, and they're going to the
Oh
restaurant.
yeah,
They
they're
saw Sasha get murdered, and if they
from what
see
we've
Gabby
seen,
and
that's
Falco,
gonna be like exactly. They're gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
you escaped. Fuck you. Run!
And then Gabby will immediately pick up a fork or a sharp rock and try to kill them first.
Yeah,
Because that is her only move.
that is her only emotion, is to kill.
She wakes up every day and chooses violence.
Yeah, so like those are like my two prevailing theories, basically, because like I don't know Zeke's plan, and obviously we get a scene at least we get us like at least a 2-minute scene with Zeke and Levi.
I
It could be
hope to
nothing.
God somebody talks to Zeke about something. I want to have some idea of what's going through his head because I really like. I'm so in the dark. I don't know. We've been speculating so much about what his motivations could be, but we haven't had anyone have any real conversations with him since that brief scene on the airship, like while escaping, and where they got interrupted anyway. So,
Yeah,
and all we got out of that scene was that he was working with Aaron and betraying Marley.
yeah.
Beyond that, we really have no idea what's going through his head. So hopefully we'll get some of that next week.
Hopefully, like we yes, baby boy, yes, baby boy. Bye bye, baby boy. Bye bye, baby boy. Yeah, no, yeah, I want something. So like, yeah, so as far as previews are concerned, fuck, because like here's the thing, because I'm starting to realize maybe I read too much into the intro, because like I watched this intro and I saw like at the very beginning falling ravens or crows or whatever from the sky, and I was like, oh, did they replace these with the Titans? I was like, no, because a few minutes later in the intro there was the Titans falling from the sky, but like there's all this imagery, all of this imagery of like Falco and birds and the sky and stuff like that. And I'm like really banking on this, like he getting the Beast Titan based off all of this thing. And I'm like, okay, so maybe not but like why have all of this obvious imagery in I guess because it looks cool, like. But like I was just like, but like looking at it,
Maybe
there's like 4 episodes
there's
left, and
yeah,
like
exactly. Maybe it'll become more of a thing in the second half of the season,
yeah, there has to be
or second half of. I mean, yeah, that's obvious. I mean, I don't think anybody's going to debate us on that.
I guarantee you someone will. But yeah, so I guess my prediction.
And yeah, unless there is like a literal Deus Ex Machina thing where like Zeus comes down and says, "I'm Zeus. All the bad guys are dead. Continue to live peacefully. The end, guys." Like in a very like literal Greek theater, like it's a guy with a fake beard swinging by on a crane and saying that all the problems are solved. The end.
Yeah, not gonna happen.
And no.
Yeah. So I guess my prediction.
There's a 20% chance at most that that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So I guess for me, my prediction. I'll state my 2 predictions: one for the next episode and one for the whole entire series. Because if we're assuming this is a 2-parter, we like it's becoming more clear where this might go. So I guess for the next episode, yeah, I think the meetup's gonna be like a shit dinner mess. We're gonna get like, I guarantee you that scene where Jean slaps the wine out of Nikolai's hands is like they find Nikolai was a Jaegerist somehow or something, and also everyone tries to murder Gabby. Gabby fights back. Falco's just like, oh my god. Freaking out, and it's just a whole entire mess. We're probably gonna get a good 5 minutes or so of like a really like nice but awkward dinner scene where Gabby's like having her mental breakdown. Falco's just kind of like, yeah, I'm here, and they're like eating and stuff like that. I wonder if they're
Yeah,
gonna.
but then like Connor and John show up to the dinner or at
Mhm,
the restaurant
mhm.
to say hi to Niccolo or something, and they see Gabby.
Yeah. Do you think Peek's
And
gonna
Piek
show
will
up
probably
there?
be there. Yeah, I mean, she has to just by the way they laid her into that final scene there.
Yeah.
I imagine she's gonna follow whoever to the restaurant,
Yeah. Um.
and so she'll be there when shit pops off.
Yeah, and then like I think all of that's gonna like yeah, just all of that's gonna like pop off. Jean's gonna find out like something about the wine because I don't know how else to explain him slapping the fucking wine out of
Yeah,
Nikolai's hand.
it is the best explanation we can muster based on what we've seen.
And then in addition to all of that, that whole entire thing, because I think that's gonna take up like half the episode. I think we're gonna get like the B plot is gonna be like Zeke and Levi are gonna have their like conversation in the woods because it looks like they're out camping or something like that. And Zeke's reading
Yeah,
the
they're
book.
at the base of that forest with the big trees.
Yeah, so I think that's gonna be a whole entire thing. I wonder how Onyankapan is gonna because he's with Hanj as well. So I wonder like where he
Yeah,
really
he
'cause
seems like he's going to side more with Hanj than
Yeah.
the rest of the volunteers.
yeah I think so too. And
Yelena seems to be a lost cause. Like she's a nut job,
oh yeah
even more so than we had suspected.
oh yeah
But Onyankapan is a reasonable guy,
yeah
and I would love it if Hanj and Zeke can have a conversation, but I don't see that as maybe happening. Maybe not. Definitely Zeke and Levi talking it out, and hopefully that will give us more of an insight to Zeke's plan and or mental state,
do you think
motivations. Just give us something to go on because we've gotten nothing out of him so far.
agreed? But do you? I got a question. Do you think that Zeke and Levi are gonna like kill each other? Like either Levi kills Zeke or Zeke kills Levi?
Yeah,
At this point,
I think that'd be very satisfying either way. I think Levi. I don't know this series, the way they pulled like satisfying endings away from you at the last second, definitely seems like Levi is gonna have to heroic sacrifice himself at some point.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't know if he's gonna get the closure of killing Zeke himself though.
I don't think so. And also, I think we're probably gonna get Aaron, like a little bit of it, like not a whole lot of Aaron. I'm hoping not a whole lot of Aaron, but
Okay.
because that would just
I
detract
think
from the information.
Levi will be dead by Aaron's hand by the end of the season.
Oh my
Not
god, that
well,
would just be
series,
really sad.
not season. I think Levi will survive this batch of episodes.
But
he'll
like,
be dead by the
Aaron's
end
gonna
of the
eventually
series.
kill Levi.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, that would be like.
I think Levi's going to be one of the first people to realize that Aaron's like going off the deep end, tried to kill him and fail.
Yeah. Watch Aaron. It'd be funny if Aaron just kicks Levi. He's all like, "Remember how many times you kicked me in the face?" And he just gets killed by a kick. Poetic justice.
Yeah, that would be a very unsatisfying end to Levi's legacy.
But knowing this series,
Yeah, this is the kind of series that do it to you, though.
but yeah, so like I kind of agree with you there. I also like think that like I don't know what's gonna
Or
happen.
hey, here's another. Levi will try to kill Zeke, but then Aaron will kill Levi to save Zeke.
Oh, that's good. I could see that happening. as well.
That feels like a puzzle piece we can jam in there.
Yeah, that feels concrete and solid. I also think that we're gonna
Yeah.
get a little bit of Aaron and what's going on with him, and then I don't know if because the family
Other than him like whispering and saying nonsense into a mirror, we haven't like got a lot of insight. Well, not since he was pretending to be Kruger.
yeah
Like then he talked and was very reasonable, and then he sat down and had his dramatic monologue with Reiner. But since then, other than him like chanting like weird nonsense into his reflection and threatening Hanj, which I did not like.
I know.
He's a bad man. A bad man with unreasonable core strength. Just like I don't know if he's got a Bowflex down there or something, but he has very angry abs.
Well, damn. Yeah, no, I think it's fair to say. I feel like this series is gonna end with because like the next episode seems pretty like kind of dry. We might get a little bit of Aaron. We're definitely gonna get Zeke and Levi. We're definitely gonna get that dinner. We're definitely gonna get Hanj going to that dinner, and shit's gonna go down. I feel like that's gonna be the main focal point. You know what? Just because I feel because I was gonna mention something else. Like we might get to see what like Peak and Galliard and all of them are up to. We might get a little bit of that, but I feel like we might get some. This is a complete left field, but we might get a little bit of Historia. It was because remember,
those are the they mentioned like, oh, we got to go check to see if her farm residence is secure.
Yeah,
but yeah, that seems reasonable, especially since this season, especially like it'll take a sidetrack. Like, hey, let's take a break from this story thread to jump over here and see what these people are doing.
Yeah.
So I think that is a reasonable expectation, especially for the next episode, because they haven't really checked in with her other than a couple quick shots.
Yeah.
Since they got back to the island to show that she's pregnant.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, so it would be cool to check in with that. But hopefully, what I'm really hoping for from a satisfy my thirst for answers standpoint is that somebody have a serious discussion with either Zeke, Aaron, or both, where we get more of a sense of what they're going on, because that they've been kind of intentionally withholding that kind of information for story purposes,
or like a flashback or something.
Well, we've gotten some flashbacks where especially did Aaron in the in between time before he decided.
No, but I'm talking about like a flashback to their specific conversation or their specific instance.
Yeah, whatever conversation led Aaron and Zeke to go all in on this plan, but also just the conversation with what they're thinking now. I don't know where their motivations stand exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's all I got out of this. Holy crap, it was an hour and a half. Probably when I'm done editing this, it'll probably be a good solid hour 15 minutes or something. Look at us.
Yeah, we're getting more concise. We're not getting sidetracked quite as much.
For those of you who don't know, we've been behind the scenes. We've been having I guess we can call them meetings, but discussions on how we can make this more efficient.
Yeah, because we were oh yeah, we'll talk for about an hour, and then it'll be a 3.5 hour stream where we go on insane tangents talking about nothing halfway through.
Yeah.
So if we could stay on topic long enough to thoroughly discuss it, this is good.
Yeah.
I feel better about this, especially because I don't have to take 4 hours out of my day to record one of these streams.
Well, there you go. So I guess do you feel comfortable ending it there? Or
yeah, I think we had a nice little discussion. We got some good points in on this.
Yeah. So if you're watching,
I'm very excited.
Oh yeah.
These discussions are good for me to kind of put the series in context and get ready for the next episode.
I know. These discussions hype me up for the next episode. And
oh yeah, I'm ready and thirsty with anticipation.
And I do want to say
next week. No, good call. I'm done with my point.
Okay.
I'm a thirsty bitch.
You're a thirsty bitch. No, I do want to say at the end of the day though, for everyone who's watching on YouTube, at the end of the day, these are just discussions. These are just thoughts, our thoughts. We don't know if we're right or not. We're just two idiots talking about this stuff. We really love Attack on Titan, and we want to share that. And obviously, at the beginning of this, we state this as a spoiler, so I don't want to hear anyone that we spoiled anything for anyone. But don't get mad.
It would be unreasonable for people to complain about that.
Yeah,
especially because you'd have to go so far out of your way to get to this point to spoil it.
Yeah.
I mean, we came in here with the sole intention of discussing this, so
yeah. And then the other thing is we do also want to remind you at the end of the day, these are discussions. I don't we don't know. I know in this episode we criticized the a little bit of the voice acting, a little bit of the animation and stuff like that. But don't go fucking on Twitter and yell at the voice actors or yell at the animation. They're doing their best. We think they're doing a good job.
It's not necessarily that they're doing a bad job. Some of it is just we're dumb.
Yeah.
Our ability to remember the names of things.
Or but if we notice any
and pronounce and effectively pronounce them, we're bad at this.
Yeah.
We've called attention to most of the time, and we joke about it, making it seem like it's the voice actor's fault, but it's really
It's
not.
us. It's
We're dumb.
us. It's us. We're bad at pronouncing names. Let's just say it's us. But like, if we notice, like, but I'm also talking because Twitter's been like blowing up about the animation, and like you said, they changed studios and whatnot. Don't criticize new ad. They're doing this as quick and as fast and as best as they can. Like, don't. I think the art looks great. Like, whatever minor complaint or detail that we pointed out, and in the grand scheme
Exactly.
of things,
If I
doesn't
had to
matter.
draw an episode of Attack on Titan by next week, it would be very, very bad.
Yeah.
I
So,
might be able to get something together with sock puppets, but you wouldn't enjoy it.
so yeah, like be respectful because they're doing such a great thing, and
We're not in a position where our criticisms would be valid. Honestly, I think the animation is very good.
yeah. Oh,
I will
yeah.
say that, like, and it's not necessarily. It's more of a complaint of my ability to, as a viewer, because like they changed the designs in the gap where they grew up. I'm not used to everyone's new look yet, so I sometimes get a little confused as to who I'm looking at. Especially Armin. He'll be like halfway into one of his whiny points. I'm like, who's this asshole? And especially since I watched the first 3 seasons in English, so I don't recognize their Japanese voices off the bat.
Oh yeah.
So if someone's speaking off screen, I'll be like, I don't know who's saying what right now. I need to wait until a distinct haircut shows up on screen.
But like but yeah, but like at the end of the day, we talk about this because one, we love the show, and two, it gets us hyped and it's fun to do. So I just wanted to say that because I know there's been a lot of hate going on Twitter, and I don't want to be part of that hate or discussion.
Yeah, we're not
criticism.
haters. We love
We just
Titan.
we just want to have a casual, nice conversation and stuff like that, and we just want to talk about this because we don't really get to talk about this, and we want to share that
So
conversation.
don't
with
threaten
you guys.
voice actors on Twitter. Actually, don't threaten anyone on Twitter. Don't use the internet as a method for spreading hate.
Yeah. How about that?
How about that?
Yeah. But I guess we'll end with this where just for YouTube. I want to thank you guys for watching, sticking with us. If you liked what we were talking about, please give us a follow. But like, if you liked it, like it, obviously, share it, comment, subscribe.
And yes, please do. And thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching and hanging out with us. Be kind to one another. Don't be a dick on the internet. Thank you, Bohab, for joining me in this conversation.
Before we shut off this stream altogether, I would like to know what's going on. Xeno Dragon Lord put a comment down here, and I don't know what it means. I'm sure you'll edit this part out.
Oh yeah.
But once we're past the podcast portion, please explain to me what the fuck is going on with this comment. What is a green-coated cat versus an orange-coated cat? If this will help me befriend the stray cats that go through my dumpster at work, which I'm is one of my few passions left in life. I've been trying. I have a bunch of extra canned food that my cats decided they don't like, so I use it to feed the cats at work.
Aw.
If there's some kind of like code in the Matrix I can use to befriend stray cats, I'm into it. I want to know about these fucking cat codes.
All right. Well then, don't be a dick on the internet. Be kind to one another, and don't forget to be awesome. 100%. Bye bye, guys.
Keep it 100.